You can quickly create a signature in Outlook to automatically add a piece of text to your outgoing mail messages. In Outlook for Windows, click File to go to the Backstage area, then click Options, select Mail, and click Signatures. I have one signature already created. I'll make a second one by clicking New. Give the signature a name, and then add the text that you want to have appear in the signature. If you have multiple email accounts, choose the account that you want to use. Then assign the signatures you want for new messages and replies. You can use the same signature for both. When you're finished, click OK, and click OK to close options. And now when I create a new email message, that signature appears in the body automatically. If you have an email or a calendar entry open and need to make a change to text, you can do a find and replace operation. Place the cursor inside the body of the email or the calendar entry, select the Format Text tab, and in the editing section of the ribbon, select Replace. Type in the text you want to change into the Find What box, and then type the text you want to replace it with in the Replace With box. Click More to see some more options you can set. Then click Replace All, and Outlook will swap all instances of that text. If you've ever tried to line up text or data in an email message, you know that using spaces and even tabs doesn't always line things up the way you want. Try using tables in Outlook to keep things neat and to give yourself a variety of presentation options. Click where you want to insert the table, then from the Insert tab, click Table. Or you can choose Insert Table to manually enter the table's properties. Again, we'll undo that. You can also choose Draw Table to get a pointer tool and draw the table's border, and then the rows and the columns. This method lets you vary the sizes of the table cells. And we'll do that. You can even embed a mini Excel spreadsheet, which can be useful if you want to include live formula calculations in your email. Once a table has been added to your email, you can enhance its appearance by selecting it and going to the Table Design tab to format the table with some of the styles found here. In Outlook, you can set rules to automatically forward messages and automate lots of other tasks too. Click File to go to the Backstage view, then click Manage Rules and Alerts. Click to add a new rule, then select Apply Rule on Messages I Receive. Click Next. Then you'll be prompted with step-by-step instructions to set conditions for your rule. I'll choose to set a rule for messages with specific words in the subject. Then down at the bottom, I'll click to set which specific word will trigger the rule. We can type in a word or phrase here. Click Add, OK, and then Next. Then you'll specify what happens when the rule is triggered. I'll choose to forward the email message. Then I'll click People or Public Group to set the recipient for these forwarded messages. I'll just double-click on somebody in my address book. Their name gets added down here at the bottom. I'll click OK. And then I can click Finish. And OK again. And now the rule is set. So any emails containing the word marketing will automatically be forwarded to my colleague Nick. Feel free to try the settings I used here or create a completely different rule with different conditions. When you're away on vacation or simply unable to access email for a period of time, you can set an automatic out-of-office reply. Here in Outlook for Windows, go to File to go into the Backstage view, make sure Info is selected, and then click Automatic Replies. Be aware this feature is not available for some types of email accounts. Here select Send Automatic Replies, and you can also set a time period for it to be active. Or you can leave this unchecked, but you will need to remember to manually turn it off after your vacation. but all you need to do here is to enter the text that you want in that reply email. While this option is enabled, Outlook will automatically send this reply to any message you receive. Microsoft 365 Business and Enterprise users will have the option to set an away message for people inside their organization, as well as a separate message for people outside the organization. If you ever accidentally send an email to someone in your organization, for example if you forgot to add an attachment or sent the email to the wrong recipient, there is a possibility of retrieving the email from the recipient using Outlook's recall feature. Be aware that this feature is only available if the recipient has an Exchange account within the same organization as the account you sent the email from, and recall won't work if the recipient has already opened the email or moved it from their inbox either manually or through a rule. But to attempt a recall, go to your Sent Items folder, locate and double-click the message you want to recall. In the Message tab, go to the Move section and select Actions. And here select Recall this message. You can choose to delete this message or to delete the message and replace it with a new message. You can also check this option here to receive an email letting you know if the recall was successful or not. So for example, with Delete Unread Copies and Replace with New Message selected, when you click OK, a copy of the message will appear in a new message window, letting you edit or add to it before sending it out again. Once you've made your changes, you can click Send. And you'll see that we do have this notification on the original message, letting me know that we tried to recall the message. Again, recalling a message may not always work depending on the address to which you sent it and whether or not the recipient has already opened the image. But it might be worth the short amount of time needed to attempt a recall the next time you accidentally send a message containing an error or to the wrong recipient. Welcome to Microsoft Outlook Quick Tips. This is a collection of quick tips and tricks designed to give you some new skills, inspire new ways of working, or remind you of features you forgot about in Outlook. Each self-contained movie is about 1 minute long, so you can jump in at any point and get some helpful insight in no time. Topics include forwarding and redirecting email, adding signature files, working with shared calendars, and much more. So even if you only have a minute or two, you can pick up some valuable skills in Outlook. Let's get started. Outlook's Conversation Cleanup feature can help reduce the number of messages in your mail folders by identifying and moving redundant messages to your deleted items folder. It does this by evaluating the contents of each message in a conversation thread, and if complete previous replies are detected in a single message, all other messages containing only parts of the conversation are deleted. To run Conversation Cleanup, under the Home tab, go to the Delete group, locate Cleanup, and this gives you 3 options. Cleanup Conversation reviews the currently selected conversation and deletes redundant messages in that thread only. Cleanup Folder reviews all the conversations in the selected folder and deletes all redundant messages within it. And Cleanup Folders and Subfolders reviews all conversations in the current folder and any folder it contains and deletes any redundant messages it finds. You can also change where redundant items are moved by going to File, Options, Mail, and here under Conversation Cleanup, you can browse for a different folder to which to move the messages. You'll also find several checkboxes here to customize how certain types of redundant messages are handled, so be sure to read through these options and check or uncheck them as necessary for your needs. Click OK when you're done. You can add a Gmail account to Outlook in addition to any other accounts you may have already set up. Here in Outlook, go to File, make sure Info is selected, and then choose Add Account. In the window that opens, enter your Gmail address, and then click Connect. You'll then be prompted to log into your account through Gmail. I'll click Next. I'll enter my password, and click Sign In. On the next screen, scroll down and click Allow to allow Microsoft apps like Outlook to access your Gmail account. Click Done, and you'll see your Gmail account appear in the left sidebar, and your emails will begin downloading into Outlook. And anytime you want to send a new email, you'll be able to select the address you want to send the email from with the From menu. When sending a message in Outlook, you can request both a delivery confirmation receipt and a read receipt. A delivery receipt confirms delivery of your email message to the recipient's inbox, but not that the recipient has seen or read the message. A read receipt confirms that your message was opened. You'll find these options when working in a new message window under the Options tab. And here in the tracking section, you can check Request a delivery receipt, Request a read receipt, or both. Note that while delivery receipts are sent to you automatically, read receipts are only sent if your recipient agrees to click on a link in the email to send you the receipt. So with those items checked, I'll click Send. And we can see that almost instantly, I've now received my delivery confirmation. So I know that this message has made it to the recipient's inbox. And just so we can see what this looks like on the recipient's end, I'm logged into that account here in my web browser. Here's the message that we just received. And notice they'll see the message here at the top that the message sender has requested a read receipt. To send a receipt, click here. So again, the recipient will have to click on that in order for me to receive the read receipt. As a general rule, consider using read receipts for only important messages. People you email frequently will be more likely to send a receipt if they're not prompted to do so every time they receive a message for you. However, if you frequently need to request delivery or read receipts, you can go to File, Options, select Mail, and then find the tracking settings. Here you can choose to always request either delivery receipts, read receipts, or both. You can also set your own preferences for how to respond when people send read receipts to you. Click OK when you're done customizing your settings. To create a folder into which to organize your emails, right-click on your inbox and select New Folder. Give your folder a name and press Enter. You can also create subfolders by right-clicking on an existing folder, choosing New Folder again, and giving it a name. Click the triangle next to any one of your folders to expand or collapse the folder list. You can then move messages into your folders simply by dragging them over the folder's name. And now when I select that folder, I can see its contents.